I'm in like a weird spot because I so heavily agree and disagree at the same point.
Can't imagine that everything being a chat interface is the right call.
Yeah,
Like,
nobody wants a chat bar added to every website ever.
you know?
I feel like the people that are saying like there's going to be no more browser, they're just like life maxing to the fullest.
Who is ordering Starbucks with ChatGPT? And will an agent just make the perfect UI for you? That's what we're talking about today. We're live at JS Nation. Shout out JS Nation in Amsterdam. Some beautiful scenery here. Here with Wes, here with Scott. And Wes is going to be giving the talk, Agentic Interfaces, Tool Skills, Generative UI, and WebMCP. So we thought we'd pick his brain, see what he's going to be talking about today.
Yeah, I'm stoked about it. This is really fun. We have like this nice setup. I'm happy to talk here. And I'm doing my talk on, like you said, agentic interfaces and like generative interfaces, because there's a lot of talk going on right now saying that like either like the web is dead, or the web is going to be headless, or chat is the final interface, or these little components that are inlined inside of your chat interface are like going to replace websites. And I'm in like a weird spot because I so heavily agree and disagree at the same point. And that's kind of be what my talk is going to be about, as well as WebMCP, which is, we had a whole episode on WebMCP. And I don't know if this is necessarily about the tech. Anytime you use the word MCP, everybody's like, skills are better. Give me a CLI and that's all I need. And then everyone else like, no, MCP is better. And like, I don't give a shit about the like actual specification, because whatever ends up being the spec, I don't think we're there yet.
Yeah.
I'll just prompt it to convert it to that end spec. I don't necessarily care about the specs here. I more care about like, what does user interface look like from a standpoint of both agents using it as well as us and the people using it.
yeah,
Right.
I'm really interested to see your talk, because I've done so very little research on any of this stuff. But I did just see yesterday, Hyundai announced that they were having a new future style interface that they're developing that included things like telling your car to turn my heated seats on and stuff. And it was all very LLM based UI inside of a car. And I like my Hyundai a lot.
Yeah.
I love my UI for all that thing. And I'm not necessarily one of these people that's like, you've got to have tactile buttons for everything. I know that's a really strong opinion, but I can't imagine that everything being a chat interface is the right call.
Yeah. Especially in a car where like you have to pay attention to the road.
Turn my turn signal on, car.
And you're like in a thread of chats. Yeah.
So that's what my talk is about. It's like, sometimes you want no UI at all. Like I think about my smart home. In a lot of cases, I shouldn't even have to tell it when to turn on the lights.
Yes.
It should just be learning from context.
Right.
Sometimes you want like a voice UI as well. And then when you get to the actual UI, like you want to like view a shopping list of what you have. Sometimes you want to be able to just like type into a chat and like sort of batch process that. But then sometimes you want to be able to click the buttons. And that's what MCP UI is. And like right now they're just like inlining these like little components inside of your chat. And it's kind of slow, but like I'm not knocking it for that.
Yeah.
But I kind of feel like the WebMCP, which is what this is it allows you to expose the tooling of your website as MCP tools. So like you visit a website, like my example is like I have a grocery app, and you can like add an item, mark as whatever, reorder, add a store, all those typical things. So you expose all of those tools via WebMCP.
Yeah.
And then like an agent, like I have Claude hooked up to the WebMCP browser, then I'm able to just use the website normally. And then I am also able to just like prompt it from my Claude or ChatGPT or whatever it is that I want. And then it can also be hooked up to other things as well. Because like you might be looking at it being like, that's just like a chat bar you added to your website. And like nobody wants a chat bar added to every website ever. that's not a good experience. I want to use my agents and hook it up to that website, or I want to hook it up to my Google Calendar and my groceries and my like fridge camera or all that, whatever it is. So I think that's the moves, because I'm calling it clicks and clankers. Because like sometimes I want to click, and sometimes I just want to like prompt, and then sometimes I want it to just like figure out what the UI should be for me, right?
And sometimes just having a visual, even if you are prompting, can change things. I mean, we saw this in our calendar challenge, where even though my calendar did win the calendar challenge, there was no UI for it in terms of a calendar.
There wasn't a UI, and then
a lot of people said they needed that.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, I think in an ideal world, it's cool that, okay, let's say everything does happen in chat, but I think that's too idealistic thinking. I think there's a time and a place for the MCP apps and a time and a place for a full-on UI. I think like power users, think just like maybe you don't want to have individual MCP apps, but with WebMCP, you expose all of the actions that you can perform, and then an agent does it on your behalf.
Sometimes people just don't want to read that much text too.
Right.
You know, as someone with dyslexia, I don't want to read a bunch of text back and forth.
But like, it's not just text though. Like the MCP apps is like they'll inline the components into it, so you can click in things. But like, I have a hard time believing that like just these little contextual components in your chat. Many cases that's great. You know, like I'm customer support. I need some stats on a specific thing. I want like a couple buttons to like refund somebody. But then like other cases, like I'm trying to think, like I'm going through my life and using all the websites, you know, like social media. I'm not going to sit there and type, show me X, Y, and Z.
Right.
Like it's all algorithm based, and I just want to like sit there and consume. Or like if I'm shopping, like a lot of people are saying like the future of shopping, say I need shoes, and then boom, the shoes are shipped to your door. And like, that just reminds me of like the Soylent. Were you around for when Soylent happened? All these tech bros were like, you just drink this goo and you don't have to think about eating anymore. I'm like, no, I enjoy looking at like what's on the website. I like going to filtering for what's on sale. And I like that. Oh, if you like this thing, then there's recommended items. And like, I don't know that you can like replicate that interface. It will eventually break outside the chat into like full screen, sidebar, and whatever. Like, it's not going to be this little block inside chat forever.
Well, what if this is all the precursor to something like in the Matrix? You say,
I've never seen Matrix.
Okay, well, I realize that. So let me describe it here. There's you have full vision taken over. You're in a big white room, and you say, give me all the blue shirts. And all the blue shirts fly in, and you can physically paw through the blue shirts.
I don't know that I want a blue shirt.
And then you say, I don't know if I want a blue shirt. Surprise me. More shirts come in. You can paw through them.
But I don't want to have to say that. I want it to just
I think what's going to happen is you're going to say, I want all the blue shirts, and then it's going to be like brought to you by Old Navy, and it's like, and they're going to...
Well, that's another thing is like, are we... Oh, yeah, now the open web is now guarded by these like 4 companies that you have to pay for.
And if you don't have an app, then like your shopping might not surface in the chat interface.
Or you get the free version, but they're going to screw with your results.
Those companies are salivating over doing exactly that. And what are you going to do to stop it? I don't think you're going to like...
Here's another example that's not AI is ordering online groceries. Do you guys order groceries online?
We started doing like order for pickup instead of order for delivery, but yes.
You do too?
Yes.
So a lot of people love it because they know what they want. I want the chicken and I don't care what the price is, and just add it to my cart. And we do the online shopping quite a bit as well when we're busy and we just need X, Y, and Z. But I primarily love just going to the grocery store.
Oh, no, thank you.
Cruising around, looking at the samples, looking at stuff, getting ideas, what's on sale. That whole experience is so much more enjoyable versus the like half an hour I'm sitting clicking through all the freaking carrots and shit. And you see the tiny little photo that's not actually... I don't like the experience of ordering groceries online.
Let me tell you, for me, farmer's market, all day. I got time for the farmer's market. We got a bag. You can pay $5 and get a big old bag of vegetables at the Denver one. That's great. I'll do that all day.
Yeah.
But if you're going to send me to walk through the aisles of a grocery store, I would, there's infinite things I would rather do just because of the chaos of it all.
I think that's where it comes down to is the task you are trying to do to replace, is it annoying? Is it something you would like hire out to an assistant to do because it is just busy work and it's frustrating? Like the example I give is categorizing my expenses in FreshBooks.
Yes.
FreshBooks has not integrated any AI stuff at all. And I'm just begging them, like, how do you not know what category this is? Like I had to build my own thing that pulled my expenses out, pulled the categories, categorize them, and push them back into FreshBooks. Or like if it was a Canadian vendor, then it had to check a box for adding HST, Canadian tax, right? That's such busy work that I hate doing. And I want to just prompt that away because it's not something I want to enjoy.
To make room for the things in life that you enjoy.
Exactly.
And not be like, AI, experience this art piece for me and tell me what people feel with it. You know?
I feel like the people that are saying like there's going to be no more browser, they're just like life maxing to the fullest.
I think there's a time and a place.
Exactly.
Right?
I think this will just be something that, yes, I like to use it via the chat app. Like my calendar is another one. Don't make me click and find everything. I just want to type. What I did here, I took the email from JS Nation flights, copy pasted it into Gemini and said, just add these to my calendar. You know, I don't want to fuss with it anymore. That's exactly what I want for that type of thing.
What I want is to be able to chat and just say, hey, where is the pre-party at? And that way it can just tell me instead of the rest of the syntax team making fun of me for asking it in the group chat.
Dump all the info that you know. And you can just chat that info or like hook it up to the website or whatever.
And that's the ideal world. So there was a talk today on MCP apps. And the scenario they gave was someone that's planning a wedding. And so when you're planning a wedding, you need to know like what date it is. So you would want to see an embedded calendar. You need to order flowers. So you're using Amazon and you get to see an embedded product card. You need to book a venue.
The thing is that they always show you, oh, here's 3 flowers.
Well, and that's
life is more complicated than that.
Exactly. So I think like that's the happy path, but we're talking about the non-happy path, which is probably the majority of what we do on the web. So
I mean, I think the strength is connecting data that is difficult to connect otherwise. You know?
But I think you're on the right track here where it's like everything's being hyped, saying it's going to replace everything. It's going to be a fine line.
Here's the other point of it is some of these companies will not want their whole brand and everything exposed as simply just an API to a chat app. Something like Sentry, they love that. You can surface all the data, they can help you fix it, great. But like, I think about booking my airline ticket. All of the like dark pattern upsells that they have, is the airline going to simply just want to become like a utility where you can just book a flight?
They'll just make a deal with the providers to be able to insert those dark patterns into the responses.
Do you want to? They certainly will. So I don't know. It's a weird world. I've never been like so excited about something and like also like I think it's just going to be just like when the iPhone came out, just like when voice came out. These are just more surface areas for our applications. And this like agentic UI, generative UI. And the one thing we didn't even talk about is this like generated UI is like, do you want to choose what the UI is, or do you want the LLM to just make a whole bunch of HTML for you? And the answer is probably somewhere in between. You want to give it a couple components that you've made, but then it can figure out how to piece them together. There's a whole bunch of like specs. OpenUI is one of them right now. Probably somewhere in between there. But like the question is like, can the user or the LLM make a better UI than the company that knows their product really well? So far, the answer is, well, maybe. Like some of the vibe coded stuff is like, yeah, that's a better UI for what I want it for. But then some of these like vibe coded ones are just, the LLM just cannot make like a very good UX.
It's more personalized apps, I think. So each user might have a specific use case. Like I want to do one specific thing. And if the AI can generate the UI, great. But the user has to know what they want. But I think to your point, I don't think it'll ever replace like really good UX or like, because the company knows their product best, they know their data best. So they're going to be able to do that. But
So
yeah,
another example I have in my talk is smart home, where like you just said, the user has to tell them what they want. And as a user, I don't know what I want my smart home dashboard to be. I want you to tell me, because you have all the information. You know what cameras have triggered alerts. You know the humidity in my house. You know when I turn lights on and off. And if I want either automations or like a dashboard for my smart home, we have so much context about my house in my Home Assistant.
yeah.
I want the AI to just programmatically make a dashboard for me, given what it knows about what has happened recently and whatnot. You know, like, oh, hey, we figured, oh, you always turn on your lights at 9 a.m. We'll do it for you, or maybe we'll pop a button up here so you can just tap it while you're walking by. And I think that's going to be the killer use case, is just like adding on UI or generating what you see in a smart, like we've had this with algorithms, but like even a step further.
Right. I think if it gets it right, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Like,
Can it get it right? We'll see.
I mean, that's the future from Iron Man. That's Jarvis. Well, he has this AI that he can literally talk to normally, and like it knows his vitals, it knows everything, and to what you're saying is it has all the data and is making the right choices.
Yeah.
But if that's the big if, is will it be able to make those choices, and can we reliably depend on it?
Or can it learn? You know, like I don't mind using it for like a year.
Yeah.
But like, can it learn my patterns? Like even like I get in my Tesla and it like is like, do you want to go to this like random place you went to a year ago? Like,
Yeah.
No, I went there once. Why would you think that I'm going there right now? Like obviously the algorithm for figuring that out is off.
I'm actually surprised sometimes so I use Google Maps and Android Auto.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like a Wednesday and it's like, oh, you go to the gym on Wednesdays at this time, so it pops up.
Yeah, the
you wanna
Google
go
one's
there?
very good.
So
But
that has surprised me before. It's like the one useful thing. I was like, oh yeah, yes I do want to go there.
I do go here every Thursday at 4 o'clock,
yeah,
you know?
exactly.
That feels a little grim to me for some reason.
Really?
I don't know what it is about it.
It's like your routine, your repetitive.
yeah.
Like,
humans are...
You are very predicther, and yes, I know what you
Life
are doing.
is all about patterns.
yeah.
Would you like me to have a snack ready for you while you're there? You know?
Other than that, I think that's it. Anything else to add? Let us know down below what you think. Is the web dead? Is it all going to be through chat apps and these little boxes inside, or is it just another interface that's added? We're curious to see what you think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a really hard question on stage. Can't wait to hear your talk. Hope you're ready.
Love hard
But
questions.
Shout out JS Nation. Thanks for
Thank you,
letting
JS
us do
Nation,
this.
for having us.
We love it. Cool. Peace.